So as an artist, you might ask yourself often, what am I going to draw? What am I going to make? What kind of song am I going to write? What am I going to paint a picture of? What kind of story I'm going to write? But one thing I think artists, one thing I think we don't ask a question enough of is, what am I creating for? Who am I creating for? What is the intention? This bigger conversation I think is about intentionality. In a larger grand scope of things, intentionality can be very important and very fulfilling. Instead of just starting your piece and absent-mindedly drawing or plucking around on your guitar or typing in your computer, sometimes it pays off to stop and think about the messaging, the fuel, the self-expression, the intention. And sometimes the intention is not directly the message within the art so much as the act of creating the art, like almost like going for a jog, where the jog isn't the art, the health benefit from it is the intention. Sometimes with art, it can be a similar circumstance where maybe my intention is not to have a wonderful story, or my intention is not to have this perfect piece of art, but my intention may be to express a deeper emotion that I'm dealing with or that I'm coping with, that I can then give a voice to through the piece of art that I'm creating. Maybe that's the intention. And then sometimes you can it's even simpler if you think about intention in sketching in everyday life. If I'm drawing a line in a drawing, I see a lot of artists will kind of like do this sketchy thing where they move their pencil back and forth across a line. But I think with intention, before you draw the line, you think about where the line starts and where the line ends, and then measure with your eyes, look from the beginning of the line to the end, the beginning of the line to the end of the line, and then try to draw that line perfectly with one swipe. That shows intention in your actions. It's like one of those amazing ink minimalist paintings that's just like a bamboo ink swipe down a white sheet of paper, but you can see the intention in that swipe. It's like almost like if you think about how economical some painters can be when you look at how many brush strokes they've used to finish a painting, when instead of just trying and going back and forth, they stop, they think, and they measure twice and they cut once. They kind of see what is this least amount of strokes I can put down to create this painting. There's an intention in that. But what I would like to just leave you with is to, as an artist, as a human, whether you're a musician or a writer or a painter, to spend a little bit more time defining your intentions. Who are you writing this for? Who are you speaking to? Why are you saying this? What is your intentions? There's a wonderful quote by a photographer named Sarah Messinger. She said if she's out taking street portraits and someone turns around a little agitated that she just took their picture on the street and asks her, why did you take this picture? And she said, if you don't have an answer as to why, then you shouldn't be taking the picture. And I think there's some beautiful answer in that intentionality. Why are you taking the picture? Gabriel Saint, writer, artist, director, working out of Los Angeles, California. I would love to hear what you think about this. What kind of artist are you? Are you writing? Are you painting? Are you making music? And how do you harness your intentionality? Or is intentionality something that maybe you haven't been focusing on that maybe now you can focus on? But let me know in the comments. We've got about 400 people here in the community. I would love to hear what you think. Like the video, subscribe. Tell me what you think about this format. How do you like this YouTube channel? Let me know. I would love to have some kind of interaction. I have a Twitch channel that I stream on. I would love to get a back and forth conversation going with all the artists in the community. Even if you're not an artist and you're just into the channel, or you're into creativity, or you're just into art, I bet you're an artist and you don't know it yet. Well, anyway, I love you. If you haven't heard it, I'm proud of you. Good job. Keep becoming a better person every day, and take it out on art. See you next time.